ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
Hello and welcome to RTA News. Let's begin with some updates from Afghanistan and abroad. The Islamic Emirate says that Bagram is Afghan soil, not the other countries that can decide about it. Zabiullah Mujahid, a spokesman for the Islamic Emirate, in an interview with Al Arabiya TV, said in response to Donald Trump's recent statements, the United States and other countries should deal with the Afghans in a diplomatic and logical manner.
The Islamic Emirate says that Afghans do not accept the presence of foreign forces in any corner of their country, and they should not forget that bad actions lead to bad reactions. Zabiullah Mujahid, spokesman of the Islamic Emirate, says that America should have political, diplomatic, and logical interactions with Afghans.
During the 20-year occupation of America, Afghanistan was facing continuous misfortunes. Now the occupation has ended. Afghanistan cannot be occupied again, but political and logical interactions must be held with Afghans so the country can stand on its own feet.
Mr. Mujahid also said about the relations with China that Afghanistan has ties with China based on a balanced foreign policy, and also wants good ties with America as well. He emphasizes that Afghanistan will never allow its soil to become a field of competition between the world's powers.
Afghanistan is committed to a neutral foreign policy, wants balanced relations with all major powers, but will not give up its soil for competition. Bagram is a part of Afghanistan and will not be handed over to anyone.
In response to the recent remarks by the US President that Bagram will be retaken, a number of Islamic Emirate officials have said that the Islamic Emirate does not deal with anyone regarding the territory and that Afghanistan is not currently subject to any foreign forces.
The Minister of Industry and Commerce, Nuruddin Azidi, has called on the country's investors to invest in sector proposed by the ministry's experts based on needs. He made these remarks at a gathering in Kabul organized by a private university under the title The Role of Industry and Commerce in Sustainable Development. The Islamic Emirate has praised the positive stance of a number of countries in the United Nations General Assembly on Afghanistan, countries that emphasize the international community's support for the Afghan people and added that supporting the stability and progress of Afghanistan is in the interest of the entire region. At the annual UN meeting, some countries have called for the implementation of infrastructure projects in Afghanistan and support of the international community and the humanitarian aid. Report.
At the annual session of the UN General Assembly, a number of countries supported Afghanistan. Turkey's president called for the release of the Afghan foreign assets. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the international community should not leave Afghanistan alone in the reconstruction process.
Tajikistan also supports peace.
Tajikistan supports the economic development of Afghanistan, its neighbor, along with peace, stability and security. We're ready to provide all possible assistance in this direction and ask the international community to provide humanitarian assistance, especially in areas affected by drought and earthquakes.
Supporting the aspirations of Afghan people.
We emphasize the UN's support for the peaceful and stable life of the Afghan people, and it's very important to prevent the isolation of the country. We plan to implement projects in the economic and infrastructure sectors of the country.
The Islamic Emirate praised the positive position expressed at the UN General Assembly on Afghanistan and said that Afghanistan wants good ties with all countries.
We appreciate the stance of friendly countries that hold a positive position on Afghanistan. We consider this a realistic view of the relations with Afghanistan and should be based on the existing security, stability and progress. Supporting Afghanistan's stability and development is in the interest of the entire region, and Afghanistan believes in strengthening positive relations with all countries.
This annual meeting is being held without an Afghan representative, while Afghanistan's seat at the UN has been not handed over to the Islamic Emirate. This is something the Islamic Emirate wants to get.
The Ministry of Justice announced the publication of the law on the Tariff Committee in the official gazette after its ratification by the Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah. According to the Ministry of Justice, this law consists of a preface, 3 chapters, 2 sections, and 21 articles. The Tariff Committee is tasked with determining, reviewing the effectiveness and amending customs tariffs and seasonal tariffs on commercial goods, taking into account Afghanistan's economic conditions. The law also outlines the procedures for exchanging tariffs on goods, clearance and prohibition of exports and imports, implementation of the committee's decisions and oversight of them, restrictions on decision-making, criteria for tariff decisions, and the legal precedence of customs tariffs. Qaridin Mohammad Hanif, Minister of Economy, met with the head of UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, and discussed providing greater facilities for returnees. During the meeting, the Minister of Economy expressed appreciation for the UNICEF's continued support to Afghans and called for an increase in staff to improve for the delivery of services to those in need, as well as the access to safe drinking water for returnees in the Umari camp in Torkham. Meanwhile, the UNICEF representative assured the coordination of cooperation and humanitarian assistance to those in need. Sheikh Shahabuddin Dalawar, head of the Afghan Red Crescent Society, met with Fiona Fraser, head of the Human Rights Section for UNAMA in Afghanistan, along with her accompanying delegation, to discuss assistance for vulnerable, needy and returning refugees. During the meeting, the head of the Afghan Red Crescent Society called on international aid organizations to support the development of the society. Meanwhile, the head of UNAMA's Human Rights Section pledged cooperation in assisting the needy, the vulnerable and returning refugees. A foreign woman and her Afghan husband, who were previously Christians and preachers of Christianity, converted to the Islam religion in Nangarhar province. Following the invitation of the Afghan scholars, the couple began studying Islam and eventually accepted Islam by uttering the word of martyrdom. Report.
A foreign woman and her Afghan husband converted to Islam in Nangarhar province. They began studying Islam after being invited by the Afghan scholars and finally accepted Islam by saying the word of Shahada or martyrdom.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله مبارك الله.
The Afghan man, who is from Kopisa province, said that a ceremony organized by Nangarhar Information and Culture Department that he became a Christian in 2010 and later invited people to Christianity with his wife.
Since 2010, I had been inclined toward Christianity, but after extensive studies and experiences, I came to a conclusion that only true path is Islam. Now, by my own choice, through personal experience, study, and with the help of Allah, I have returned to Islam. Islam is a blessed and pure religion that grants rights to all human beings, including women. It gives dignity to humanity. Islam is a complete and perfect religion.
He says that recently they started studying Islam and with the encouragement of Afghan scholars, today they converted to Islam with complete satisfaction and saying the word of Shahada or martyrdom. They also promised to spend the rest of their lives in the shadow of the holy religion of Islam.
The construction of 2 water supply networks in home district of Samangan province worth more than 8 million Afghanis has started through the Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of the province. According to officials, the projects have created jobs for dozens of people and will provide 350 families with access to healthy drinking water. Nearly 100 personnel of the Ministry of National Defense have graduated from the 5th round of General Training and Education Management at the Central 313 Army Corps. The Ministry of National Defense said that during the program, officials urged the graduates not to spare any efforts in serving the system and the people. The construction of 3 water supply networks in Dawlatiyar district and Dulana district of Ghor province worth more than 12 million Afghanis has started through Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of the province. According to local administration officials, dozens of jobs have created during the projects and 500 families will benefit from healthy drinking water. Thanks for watching, guys. That was all for now. Have a good time.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا